Articulation Radio. Articulation.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another informative and entertaining episode of Articulation Radio. I am your host, the Honorable Joaquin Man. You know how we do things here at Articulation Radio. We will start off the day's episode by taking a glance at the news headlines, and today's news segment is sponsored by bepublished.org.
These are four of the news headlines and events I saw today, Friday, February 3rd, 2023, when visiting elitevaluesnews.com on your behalf. The killing of top ISIS militant casts spotlight on group's broad reach in Africa. Psychedelic churches in the United States are pushing boundaries of religion. Europe beefs up Green Deal in response to Biden's climate subsidies introduced in the U.S. Inflation Reduction Act. And West End Comedy Fest kicks off at 6 p.m. today in Atlanta's historic West End neighborhood and ends on Sunday. Those are four of the news headlines and events I saw when visiting elitevaluesnews.com today. Be sure to check them out any minute, within any hour, on any day, under any of the multiple categories on which they report. And be sure to hit refresh at any moment if you would like to see a new list of news feeds under that particular category. And of course, as you know, so much happens in this world of ours, and the staff at Elite Values News makes it a point to keep you abreast of as much as possible. Be sure to check them out right now, elitevaluesnews.com. Head on over. I'm Goddess Sage, reporting live.
Looking for the latest news? Visit Elite Values News. EliteValuesNews.com has all the latest news and information. Check out the headlines hourly. EliteValuesNews.com. Visit now.
Do you want to be published? Are you looking for a high-quality, low-cost way to be published with a fast turnaround? Visit bepublished.org to publish today. www.bepublished.org. bepublished.org. Publish today. Books, movies, and music. Listeners, we love you, we hear you, and I am so glad to be here with you today on this episode of Articulation Radio. I have an interview coming up for you, and I also have a topic, so stay tuned.
Kiss So turn it up. You know I want your body, baby, give it up. You got me waiting over here, just back it up. The way I'm feeling, it's critical. See, all I want is you. Girl, you make me feel like $1 million. Baby, you got that diamond love. You got it, baby. Touch it, the world is ours. Baby, you got that diamond love. Just tell me where you wanna go. Baby, let's ride. Fast or slow, you're in control. Just take your time. Come on, girl. Let's go. The way I'm feeling, hey, it's critical. And I just wanna get physical. The way I'm feeling, it's critical. And I just wanna get physical. You make me feel like $1 million. Diamond love, get that diamond love. Touch it, the world is ours. Baby, you got that diamond love. Hey, you got it, baby. Hey, that diamond love, baby. Hey, ooh. Hey.
You have a product, let them help you increase sales. You have a video, let them help you make it go viral. Peoplewarmers.com. PeopleWarmers.com for all your advertising, marketing, and promotional needs. They also take care of events planning. Peoplewarmers.com. Visit them today.
Whoever loved, that loved not at first sight, maybe Marlowe's one true confession, you know. And I too have loved since eyes were first laid, and I could see then you'd never want to go. You know you got it, baby. You got it going on. You know you got me, baby. You got me loving strong. You know you got a baby. You gotta do me right. 'Cause you know you wanna, baby. Keep me all your life. Ain't nobody hold nobody the way that I do. Ain't no lover in the whole world do the things to you.
ARTistreview.com. All artists need a platform. The Artist Review makes sure you have the one you need to put your work in front of your fans. ARTistreview.com. Artist, REVUE.com.
Memories of a broken past led your life through a dark path. But do you have a moment for some good news? You avoid the lines, hold up your guard, duck the pain so it never starts. What I have to tell you is long overdue. Yes, they can be forgotten. Now you're on alert, 'cause they did you so rotten. Allow God to show you love and don't refuse.
We gotta let go, let go, let go. Gotta let go and let my God. We gotta let go, let go, let go. Gotta let go and let my God. We gotta let go, let go, let go. Gotta let go.
Single abuse and every secret sin. But if you come to the King, you'll build your self-esteem. Now abides faith and hope. The greatest of these is love. The tears of her, yes, they can't be forgotten. Now you're on alert, 'cause they did you so rotten. Allow God to show you love and don't refuse.
Have you always wanted to start a business but can't seem to get it off the ground? Call 972-880-8316 for your free initial consultation with a representative from The Conglomerate, or visit theconglomerate.work today to book your consultation in person. Theconglomerate.work, theconglomerate.work, theconglomerate.work. Call 972-880-8316 to start your new business today.
Today's episode of Articulation Radio was kicked off. Well, first, let me tell you, today's episode is our first Buzz News episode of 2023. It is titled honoring your loved one wishes, because Goddess Sage will be interviewing the first-time author, Jeffery Ellison, regarding his debut release, Published Works of Brother David Ellison-Bey. And she will go into details about that. They will go into details about that for you. But people, you want this? Head over to lulu.com, LULU.com. Grab up your copies of Published Works of Brother David Ellison-Bey, and also get it from Barnes & Noble. Nowhere else other than these two, but they will go into that. Published Works of Brother David Ellison-Bey by Jeffery Ellison. Head over, grab that up right now. But we did kick off today's episode of Articulation Radio with Diamond Love by Kelly Engstrom featuring Jimmy Burney. After that, you heard Nil Zilchnan by our very own Goddess Sage. And then we followed that up with Anwar's song from his My Therapy CD, and it's titled Let Go. So definitely, I'm sure that we've already gotten you prepared and getting you set up for this new mental state that we need you to go into. We want you to be able to accomplish every goal that you have to accomplish, even those wishes that your loved ones left to you or trusted with you to fulfill. It's because they knew you could. They knew you could get it done. No matter how much you looked up to this person and said, oh, if they couldn't do it, no one else can do it. But that person asked you to be sure to get it done. And that means that person knew you could even do what they were not able to get done. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in that loved one, and trust that the trust that was placed in you was not wasted, was not in vain, and that, like all the other wise decisions of your loved one, that too proved to be one of the very great decisions that you are living testimony to prove for a fact was indeed a good life decision, and where someone saw something in yourself and all you had to do was trust in their vision, step up to the plate, and go ahead and take that swing, baby, and make those home runs. So yes, we're going to keep this show rolling for you. I'm going to get off my soapbox because I know Goddess Sage has her own. So yes, we're going to go ahead and keep this show rolling for you. Up next, before we bring on that interview with Goddess Sage and Jeffery Ellison, we're going to go ahead and just roll something a little nice and instrumental for you. Get on some Pink Glazed Pastries, one by Anders Both, and then we're going to bring on that interview. So hang tight.
You are listening to Articulation Radio. Head on over to articulationmedia.club and let us know your thoughts.
Would you like a motivational speaker to come to your company or organization to speak to your group? Visit lifespurposeministries.com. That's lifespurposeministries.com. Do you frequently shop online and you're looking for a new place to shop? Join the club, jeffersontaylor.club, where models, designers, inventors, and other creators offer customers the best products at fair prices. Jefferson Taylor, jeffersontaylor.club. Join the club. Shop today, jeffersontaylor.club.
Articulation Radio is very pleased to have with us for this very first episode for 2022. Of course, a Buzz News episode for you. And I, Goddess Sage, am interviewing the author all the way from Georgia, Brother Jeffery Ellison. And we are going to be discussing his literary debut, which is his continuing his family's legacy. The name of his book is called Published Works of Brother David Ellison-Bey. And for those of you who are already familiar with Brother David Ellison-Bey, you already know he released his book, The Ultimate Trust, and his book, Pearls from the Sea, back in 2013. And they were two separate works. But now you are able to get them both combined into that one book that Brother Bey promised you years ago. It is now taken care of, and his brother Jeff has handled that for him. So we want to welcome Brother Jeffery Ellison here to the show. How are you today, Brother Jeff?
I am great. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on. And people, I want to turn the floor over to Brother Jeffery Ellison so he can actually explain to you all in his own words why it is that he released published works of Brother David Ellison-Bey. So, yes, Brother Jeffery, will you please inform them and catch the public up on Brother David and the steps that you had to take to fulfill his dream for him?
Well, basically, my brother, of course, is Moorish American, and when he discovered Islam, he found that he wanted to have everyone that was a Moor to know Moorish American history and everything that came with it. And in the event that he wrote these two books was explaining to the Moorish Americans that you have a right, you have to follow your dreams, you have to pursue, because we are Moorish Americans. When my brother first brought me to Chicago from New York, I was 3 years old. My mother didn't want me to grow up in New York. She said, take me to Chicago. And before we left New York, my brother took me to see zoos to see Moorish Americans, or Moors as they was called at that time, riding elephants, conquering nations. And of course, we all know, being, Moorish Americans, that from 722 to 1492, we ran Spain. And Moors come from the word dark. So we ran Spain up until 1492. So basically, it's just that his vision for Moors and Moorish Americans is just wanted them to know their history, wanted them to know how did we get to this place, wanted them to know that if you have any dream you want to pursue it, you can do that here in America.
Yes, and for those of you who don't know, and I know that some of you are very, I would say, close to the whole story and the legacy of Brother David Ellison-Bey. He is the one who actually started the Moorish Cultural Workshop here in Chicago. And as we know, like with all religions, it's a lot of different denominations, a lot of different churches, temples, a lot of different factions. But for the Moorish religion, for the Moorish culture, Brother Bey actually had set up an institute where they could come in, and it had all of these, when I tell you, centuries of documents, because his father was a historian, his father's father, back a good 5-6 generations, their family were the ones who were responsible for maintaining and keeping up these legal documents and these charter documents and things like that, and even handling the finances for the Moors. So this goes back a long way and is a critical piece of Moorish history. But what makes it, I would say, even more exemplary for people, period, no matter what your culture is the way things were handled. Because, of course, Brother David was trying to put his books back out. And with that being said, let me throw this out real quick. You can get published works of Brother David Ellison-Bey compiled by Brother Jeffery Ellison
from Lumu.com. You can get it from Barnes & Noble, pretty much anywhere, but please do not buy it from Amazon. People, when I tell you all, Brother Bey went through so much trouble of trying to, because, of course, with his various moves, he wasn't able to get his email, went through so much trouble. Long story short, Amazon would not even reset his account using the new email Brother Jeff had set up. So Brother Jeff was able to connect with bepublished.org. They were able to go ahead and compile the works, put them back out and everything so that Brother David's vision and his dream would be able to be achieved. And Brother Jeff, let them know, because of course we know that you took care of your brother and even had it to where when Brother David made his transition back in July, immediately you were right on it, like in September, trying to make sure that his book was all done to where, by the end of the year, by December, his dream was accomplished. For those people who are listening who have gone through losing a loved one, and that loved one had asked them or had charged them with a certain job, like, hey, I want you to do this or make sure you do that, what tips would you give for them to be able to honor their loved one's legacy while still, of course, living their life, and as well as going through and acknowledging their grief? Walk them through how you were able to focus and get things done, and what tips you would give for them if they are, trying to fulfill some dreams of their loved ones.
Well, basically, in 2016, I hadn't seen my brother for numerous amount of years, so I took it upon myself. I said, well, I'm about to come see you. And I didn't like his living conditions. I didn't like that living conditions, and I ended up moving him. I would call him and see if he made his doctor's appointment, whatever, and he wouldn't. So I took it upon myself from 2016, 17, 18, and 19. I was in Chicago 3 times a year, making sure the doctor's appointment was made, making sure of everything that was, because he was getting older. And me being the youngest, my 3 sisters, they're elderly, they cannot do this. So I took it upon myself to get him, moving from where he was, moving to another place, and all the time trying to get him to move down here with me to Georgia. So after 7 years, he finally said, okay, I'm ready. But in that time, I already knew about both books. And when I moved him here with me finally in 2019, he said, as whereas I need both books done. I need both books done. That's what he mean by that. He said, I need both books. Eventually, he got sick. And he transitioned in July. But before that, you have to really, if a person is elderly, you have to stay on top of everything that's pertaining to their health, mentally and physically. Because before you know it, you're like, oh man, just like my brother, he knows this anymore. And I had to dive into that and find all that about. And that's when Amazon said, oh, well, we can't restart it due to this. And that's why I ended up with bepublished.org. And we started this over again. He just wanted both his books to be published, put together, and published back out. Again, he started this in 2013. And now it's almost 10 years later. And we have to do it again. And I need for his legacy to keep going. If that's what he wanted. That's what he wanted.
And what were some of the things that you did in order to be able to do that? How were you able to do it? How were you able to, I would say, juggle your schedule and fit in the extra stuff for him? And what tips would you give to other people so that they would be able to fulfill dreams of their loved ones or honor wishes of their loved ones? What steps or strategies would you recommend?
Well, basically, as I did, by the social workers and his doctor and the people in the VA in Chicago, they said that one of us needed to be power attorney over his health. And because they didn't know either of my siblings, they said that I needed to be. So I contacted my siblings, and they said, yeah, you do it. So basically, when I got power attorney of his health, I was able to monitor his health. I was able to make sure he made his appointments. And basically, it was a go from there. I was able to handle everything and make sure he was all right and make sure he got all his meds, make sure he made appointments, got new dentures, the whole nine.
Okay, so you make it sound easy. So was it easy? You make it sound easy, like it's no struggle, no nothing people got to juggle. So was it really indeed that way?
Yes. I guess because it was my brother. And this is not my first rodeo. I did the same thing with my grandfather. And as you said earlier, you know, my grandfather, I mean, the way my brother, dad, and my grandfather, they just kept records, and they just, all through my life, I'm hearing all kind of history, you know, and they kept records, and that's when David started keeping. That's why me and David was like joined at the hip, basically. And he just let me know. That
it's kind of like you were trained, like, you know, all your life you were kind of trained to just step up and to fill that gap.
Yeah, that's correct. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Beautiful. And now, and I know that there are some people who are listening, they're like, wow, you know, that, I don't think I can do that. You know, I've never had to do that. For that first time that you had to step up, because I know for your brother it was easy because you had done it before. You did it for your dad. For that first time, though, that you had to kind of step up, what was the biggest hurdle for you, and how did you overcome it so that way for some people who find it hard to get started with getting involved and to help take care of a loved one, what tip would you give them to kind of get over that first hurdle?
Well, actually, you have to find time. I mean, if you're working a full-time job, 40 hours a week or whatever, you have to find time. You have to use your vacation time. You have to be in touch with that person, everyone that's involved in that person's mental and physical health. I mean, you have to be involved. They have to be able to trust you to say, okay, well, you want to do this? Okay, we got you. And that's exactly what happened with me, because I was there all the time. But you have to juggle your schedule. You have to make sure these people see you. These people know that you actually care for this person. And, you know, you're the person they suggest, you know, to do what needs to be done.
Yes. And you definitely do a great job of just that, doing exactly what needs to be done, when it needs to be done. You don't, I would say, wallow in excuses. And listeners, that's really, I would say, the main thing that I could throw in on that is that you cannot allow yourself to accept any excuse, anything other than, yes, it is done, or yes, it is moving forward, or yes, I'm actively working on it. Anything that you use as the reason to be like, oh, no, I can't do it because of this. Oh, no, I won't be able to do it yet because of so-and-so, or I got to do this, or I got to wait. You'll never get around to it, because it's never going to be a perfect time for you to do anything that you haven't already done. It's going to always be something to come up, and even, you know, for things that you have done and you want to do again. It's even things that come up real easy to keep you from doing that, like, oh, I can't take the kids to Six Flags. I'll wait until next time, or it's always something. So you really have to make a serious effort to make sure that whatever it is that you have decided you want to do, you have to commit to it, and you have to say nothing's going to stop me from getting it done, because as we hear, that's pretty much what Brother Jeff did. He just decided, hey, this is what I'm going to do, and he just did it. And he did not let anything prevent him from getting it done, not only because of the fact that, yeah, he's a man of his word and he wants to do what it is he has said he's going to do, but also because of the fact that he knew the importance of the charge that was on him to assure this work gets out. Because people, published works of Brother David Ellison-Bey not only has for you some of the historical documents related to the Moorish temple, but also has like original documents and things that are related to the Noble Drew Ali, has like legal documents in them, as well as, of course, you get poetry, you get prose, you get short stories. It's like some of everything under the sun, all in this one book. Published works of Brother David Ellison-Bey, and of course by Jeffery Ellison, and you can get it for, I want to say it's $54.95, and it is full color, people. And when I tell you this book has easily over 300 and something pages, you even get photographs. I mean, this truly an offering, truly something you need to go and get. Brother Jeff, let me ask you, do you currently have any events or anything planned where people will be able to come and see you in person and get autographed copies right now? Or I know maybe since we know there's still a little COVID, you may not have planned it yet, but just in case, want to ask, have you set up any of those in-person events yet?
As of right now, no, because of the holidays and plus the COVID thing. So basically,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
looking for, a little warmer weather, where people are more comfortable with coming out now. I had to get the holidays fast first, and now it's still shaky with the COVID thing, but I'm setting up something soon as far as you can come see me, sign the book, buy the book.
And people, and if you don't get a chance to get to him immediately, no big deal, because you still have time. Because when I tell you, I heard, now you can hear anything, may or may not be true, right? I heard, Uncle Jeff, that you're going to be working on another book too. Is that true?
Yes, I'm trying to finalize some things now. But I have to work as well. So I'm working on another book. It's semi-autobiography, so yes, I'm working on another book now.
So definitely, you have to come back on Articulation Radio when that one gets out. And people, and even with that, just stay tuned, because, of course, you can get published works of Brother David Ellison-Bey, compiled by Brother Jeffery Ellison from Lulu, from Barnes & Noble. And you can also, of course, head on over to bepublished.org so that you can, of course, get you a copy from there as well. You do have options. And, of course, but the main thing is remember, never get any of these books from Amazon. That's the main thing. Never get any David Ellison-Bey book from Amazon, because, Amazon's doing some funny stuff. So you want to get published works of Brother David Ellison-Bey, where it's the one book with both of them compiled in one, and it's the one compiled by Brother Jeffery Ellison. Get it from Lulu or get it from Barnes & Noble, okay? Published works of Brother David Ellison-Bey by Brother Jeffery Ellison. And for those of you who are just tuning in, you're listening to Articulation Radio. My name is Goddess Sage, and I am interviewing Brother Jeffery Ellison about published works of Brother David Ellison-Bey. And I want to throw out real quick that this is our first episode of 2023, and it is actually a Buzz News episode. And I will tell you real quick what I am sipping on. It is actually a pineapple liqueur. It's gluten-free. It's vegan-free. It's totally vegan. It's gluten-free, non-GMO, and, of course, it's the tropical flavor. And so, and it's shaped like a pineapple. So, and some of you probably already know exactly what it is. But, yes, now getting back to this, Brother Jeff. Now, I know some people are listening, and they're like, okay, he's going to work, he's re-put out his brother's book. He was even taking care of his brother. He's even working on this other stuff, and I know he has other things going on, too, with family. And I know there are some who are like, when does he take the time out to make sure that he's good? When does he have the time to address his emotions? For those people who even may be listening and even they haven't addressed theirs. And, and I know that you've taken your time, but, some people may not know. And some people, I would say with their own situation, they do things to avoid facing the grief. Will you please, for those people who are listening, address for them or even provide for them any tips that you've learned to be able to not only be aware of your grief, but to let your grief be and to, experience all the different emotions, to not push things down, to, let them be and to get through them. Will you share with them what your journey has been like and how you have been able to find and maintain your strength while still dealing with the grief?
Well, to be honest, I knew the end game. Taking care of my grandfather and now him, I knew the end game. So basically, I knew I had a commitment to be there for the end game. You have to really be a strong person. And like you said earlier, I have to work, of course, and I'm actually trying to get another book together now, and it just takes time. You have to be very, very committed, and that's what my brother instilled in me since I was 3 years old. And be committed about anything you do. About anything you do, just be committed. I was selling banana bread, 1972 at Puss Expo at the Amphitheater in Chicago at 12 years old. Getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, baking banana bread, me and my brother and another life friend. So I've always been committed. He's always had me committed. You know, you have to push yourself sometimes. When you say, I can't do no more, you have to reach down and find out, yes, I can do more. You just have to be the kind of person. You just have to have that strength inside you. You know, you just have to have that strength. I mean, I'm not saying nobody can do this. Anybody can do this. You just have to be thoroughly committed and have that strength. When you think you can't go on, you have to keep going on. You say, okay, well, I'm tired. I can't go on anymore. You have to try again.
Yes. And what is there, and this is my last question to you, what is there that you would like to say to the listeners of Articulation Radio that you've not yet had a chance to share with them?
Well, basically, like my brother instilled in me, if you have a dream, follow it no matter what. You know, you're going to get some naysayers. You'll get, no, you can't do this. No, you have to keep going. If that's your dream, that's your passion, you have to drive into it. You have to be committed. You have to have that never get up thing inside you. Well, I'm going to make this happen. You're going to hit a lot of brick walls. You're going to hit a lot of, surfs up. You're going to hit a lot of that. But if this is your dream and this is what you want to pursue, you have to pursue it no matter what. You're going to go through a lot of rough times. It's like I did, but it wasn't that bad. But you're going to go through a lot of rough times. You just have to keep pursuing. If it's something that you really want to do, you have to keep pursuing it. Combining these two books was my commitment because I really want to do it for my brother.
Yes, and that you did, and you truly weathered the storm. There are a lot of people, and even some of you listeners, you all already know, you've heard stories, or, you know people who they've tried to put out their movies, they tried to put out their music, their poetry, their whatever it is. So you all already know it is a lot of work and a lot of steps that you have to go through in order to release anything in this world marketplace.
Right.
And we definitely encourage you, whatever it is that you have within you, don't let anything stop you. Persevere, push through, especially if you know that what you have to share with the world is something that could help make the life better for somebody else. The published works of Brother David Ellison-Bey in multiple ways are able to do that for people. I strongly recommend people, instead of just going in and grabbing one copy of this, you really need to get two. That way you get one that you can keep and it'll really be yours for your house. And then, of course, for your library. And that other book, that's the one that you can let people read from, because I'm telling you, this is not, well, when people see the book, they are going to pick it up. They are going to start, but the stuff is so juicy and so meaty to where whatever it is they're reading at that time at your place, they're not going to be able to finish that. And they're going to ask you, can they take your book, and that they'll bring it back. And their intention is to bring it back, but you won't be seeing that book again. So I would recommend just go ahead, grab you up two. That way you got one that whomever expresses interest in it, if they're like, yeah, let me read this real quick, be like, oh, I got some for you, baby. Here, I got a copy for you to take. And that way you won't suddenly be without the book and have to buy another one. So just go ahead and grab you up two. And then that way you'll be good to go, okay? And, of course, if you know that you have people who have birthdays coming up or holidays, things like that, you can go ahead and grab them up copies of their own, because people will appreciate this. This is a very nice volume. People, get your copy of Published Works of Brother David Ellison-Bey by Brother Jeffery Ellison. Brother Jeff, thank you so much for coming on to Articulation Radio. You are welcome back at any time, and we definitely are thankful for all the great work that you and your family have been doing for the culture, and we pray God's blessings and protection on you and your family, and I am so thankful for being able to share this time with you. You got to come back. You got to come back when you get that next book done.
Most definitely. When I finish the next book, I will be back.
Beautiful. Well, God continue blessing you. Joaquin Mann is going to roll some more of these nice little tunes for you all, and we're going to keep this show rolling for you, so stay tuned.
Take one.
that. The old bus niggas talking all that. Niggas talking shit. I be talking to ya. I be taking it. She keep it G with the M's around town. She the one. Luck to her today. Luck with all of her funds. She a G nigga. Godspeed nigga. I pray today to Le Mans, okay. Wishing luck to kids on all the trips today. Men and ladies, to girls and boys, up to all y'all people, one of many joys. I'm saying, I'll be conveying love to the end of time, and I'll be praying for you niggas, man. I'll be praying, man, for you niggas, man. Godspeed.
took my lessons, it turned me to a man. Took my lesson, changed my plan. Made me into a man. Turned me into a man.
You just heard Godspeed 2 by Noah Akah. Up next is On Top of the World by Cecilia Lynn featuring Layla May, followed by Mr. Magic by Erica Johnson, I Used to Treat You Right by Mad Modici featuring Dayon, Ethereal Garden by IXVI, and You're the One by Sven Carlson featuring Maja Norming.
If you'd like more information on how you can be an eyelash artist, call us at 314-560-1641 or 888-585-LASH, lashingoutloudinc.com.
Articulation Radio, thanks you so much for listening. So head on over right now to articulationmedia.club and let us know your thoughts on today's episode. In the meantime, we're going to keep the show rolling for you.
Media Room 360 TV. Media Room 360 TV is a channel that has something for everyone, from world news, inspiration, programming for kids, politics, sports, technology, and entertainment. Media Room 360 TV has got you covered. Check out one of our shows today on Roku. Media Room 360 Internet Television on Roku. And if you need a speaker, head over to Media Room 360 Speakers at MediaRoom360.com. That's MediaRoom360.com.
Famous, so famous, number one, desirable. I do what I want, when I want, and how I want it. Leave you with the one in the air, that's how I roll. I got tons of soul, I'm a true collectible. Famous, so famous, number one, desirable. I do what I want, when I want, and how I want it. Leave you with the one in the air, that's how I roll. I got change to throw, I don't care about no gold. Better, so much better, flipping, incredible.
sorry, yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. When I hear him come like my fuse and then ba-bum. Later, see you later, I'm about to blow this up. You can sing or sing if you want, I know you want it. It's always kinda funny, yeah, cause you know I'm a superstar on the sky to lead you on. Haters gonna hate, it's a proof of how they love. They can bring me down, nah, nah, nah. They are jealous of me and my umbrella, yeah, they love me slow. This is me, I'm so royal, and you all wanna be round. Yeah, you all wanna be round. Round a champion, a champion. Royal, top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world.
Are you looking for grant writers, technical writers, creative writers, academic writers, any kind of writers? Head to the Writers Consortium. Their website, writersconsortium.us, www.writersconsortium.us, the Writers Consortium, writersconsortium.us, for all of your writing needs. Think of it, they can produce it for you. They are the ghost writers to the top people.
3,
Mr. Magic, where have you gone? Mr. Magic, where have you gone? Mr. Magic, oh, 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 you tell me. He put his hands on me and kiss me tenderly, and help me say I'd give up anything that I possess just to have him tonight. Mr. Magic, where have you gone? Mr. Magic, where have you gone? Mr. Magic. I broke down and cried over you. But just like magic powder, you took one move and now I don't know what to do. Mr. Magic, where have you gone? Mr. Magic, yeah, where have you gone? Mr. Magic, yeah. Oh, you
If you are a savvy senior who's seeking a lifestyle club that's centered around you, visit sittingroom.xyz today. The Sitting Room, sittingroom.xyz, where savvy seniors socialize, get event invites, organize among themselves, as well as obtain merchandise and get engaged to create new things. The Sitting Room, sittingroom.xyz. Visit today.
I used to treat you right. I used to be your life, your life. Tell me, what did you run from? Tell me, why did you run from me now? Oh, I used to treat you right. I used to be your life, your life. Tell me, what did you run from? Tell me, why did you run from me now? Oh, seeing you part, same outcome. Don't know how I treated you wrong. Maybe that's it. I treated you poorly, made you great coffee, hid you from the cops. I used to make you calm, kissing and massaging. It's days like these that make me wanna go and try things. Busting up the seat, now I just wanna go and rob things. Made a lot of greed, now I just wanna go shopping. I used to treat you right. I used to be your life, your life. Tell me, what did you run from? Tell me, why did you run from me now? Oh, raindrops fall, sun goes by, whole new day, trying to get by. Seeing you cry just made my day now. Trying new ways now, going all gray now. Used to be around you, but it's a whole new place now. Used to go alone, but it's a whole new train now. Oh, am I gone? And it's a whole new race, yeah. But I won't ever go lay down. I used to treat you right. I used to be your life, your life. Tell me, what did you run from? Tell me, why did you run from me now? Oh, I used to treat you right. I used to be your life, your life. Tell me, what did you run from? Tell me, why did you run from me now? Oh.
Want to buy stocks, jewels, real estate, or other high-end items? Would you love to be able to contribute to charitable initiatives but cannot do these things with the money you currently have? Join Regal City Investment and Social Club, where you can pool money each month with other investors to make major purchases, give to the needy, and possibly turn a profit. www.regalcity.xyz. Become a Regal citizen today by joining Regal City Investment and Social Club. regalcity.xyz.
Weddings are expensive, but your love is worth it. Go to marryusnow.us to book the Minister of Love to officiate your wedding today. The fee is only $200 if your wedding is in the city of Chicago, and there's only a small fee to get the Minister of Love to travel outside of Chicago to your wedding location. Book the Minister of Love today. Visit marryusnow.us. That's marryusnow.us.
If you feel like it's real when I make your body shiver like an autumn leaf, I try to stay on my feet when you move a little closer to me. I can't breathe it. Your love is all I ever need. Take me going. It's time to let you know how I feel. When I'm here, I don't know what I could do to feel you. It's surreal to be a part in my heart. There's a place where everything's about you. I don't know who could ever make me feel like you do. It's time to show you my love is true. You're the one I dream about when I fall asleep. When I wake up in the morning, you're the first thing on my mind. There is no one else. Oh, baby, it's you. Yeah. And if I had another way to show you what my dreams are made of, I could somehow reach out to you, finally open the door. 'Cause you're the one I dream about when I fall asleep. When I wake up in the morning, you're the first thing on my mind. There is no one else. Oh baby, you're the one I dream about when I fall asleep. When I wake up in the morning, you're the first thing on my mind. There is no one else. Ooh, you're the one I dream about when I fall asleep. When I wake up in the morning, you're the first thing on my mind. There is no one else. Oh baby, you're the one I dream about when I fall asleep. When I wake up in the morning, you're the first thing on my mind. There is no one else. Oh baby.
My people, my fam, my folks, I thank you so much. We all here at Articulation Radio, thank you so much for tuning in today and making us a part of what it is that you do. We encourage you to go over to our website, articulationmedia.club, and let us know not only what you think about today's episode, but make sure that your music, your interview, and your ad all take place right here on this station, Articulation Radio. Go to articulationmedia.club right now and hook yourself up. Make sure that you do that so you can hook other people up. But be sure to tune in again on Articulation Radio. We'll catch you again soon. And in the meantime, you already know, keep being a doer, keep being a move maker, and keep making things happen.
Articulation. Articulation.